back to another edition of the Martin and Shithead Show, a special edition. Joining us today, we've got Thai Studios. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourselves?
Well, my name is Trent Parker.
And I am Ryan Stone.
I've known these two for a very long time. And we said before we recorded, we're not going to pretend we don't know each other.
Yeah, I don't know this
Who
guy.
is this dude right here?
Never met him.
I literally don't know them.
You just met them.
That's true.
We're on the set of Nerdploitation, which is the set of everything else we do. But you're actually seeing it now.
Yeah, this is where the magic happens.
It's pretty cool. It's really practical too, and
Yeah.
nothing too fancy.
You know, I just noticed, like, when we were doing the zombie thing,
It's
nobody...
such a nice way to say that it's like not nice and CG. This is
shitty.
really broke.
really broken, yeah. You know, I just noticed that when we did the zombie podcast, nobody mentioned the Captain Shield.
The Captain Shield.
Yeah, your Captain America shield you got hanging on the wall. Nobody said, like, I'm gonna use this as a
Oh,
weapon.
yeah. I don't think
Remember
any zombie can get through the vibranium.
There you go.
Yeah.
I was going to say, be careful.
Have a whole
Like,
nother
don't do
diet.
that.
Wait, is it really that hot in here, or is that just the pressure from the air?
Don't do that.
I know, I'm hot.
I didn't say it. I only got halfway through it.
The atom of vibranium.
The out of vibranium shield.
This one's just made out of plastic, though.
Yeah.
Just let you know.
So,
Well,
But it's vibranium.
thanks a
plastic.
lot. Now everybody knows I have no defense because of Trent here. But I know Ryan and
Vader
Trent.
mask.
We started doing video. Well, you started doing videos like 2007,
Yeah.
and then we all started as a group, like with two more people.
yep. Right around that. Right
2008.
before that, well, remember, because we did the late 06, early 07
Oh, that-
stuff. That
yeah.
was a school project.
Well-
That's how it started.
How we all met was because we failed hardcore at a history project.
Yeah.
We were supposed to do a news anchor show about current events we were learning in our class.
All the
And
definitions of
it
whatever
had to have
terms
been
were there.
2006.
There was some social studies
Anchorman,
bullshit and
Yeah,
all
we were
that.
inspired by Anchorman.
Anchorman, and we got like a 37% F on it.
Yeah.
And we're like,
You were
let's
inspired
start.
by Anchorman and got
Yeah.
an F?
Somehow.
I think
because
it
we were too funny for our own good and not
Yeah.
really doing
Well,
the real assignment.
You're supposed to read
We just went up-
vocabulary
Yeah.
words in it, and we didn't.
We just decided to be stupid.
You kidding me? That's comedic gold.
I know.
Everybody
Well, no,
liked it except the teacher.
it did get passed around school. It got
Yeah.
played on the morning news thing we did.
Yeah. People were talking about it. They're like, yeah, did you go in there yet? Because we were all in different classes, like the four of us, so we each had to show it in whatever class.
Yep.
And so basically everybody saw that.
And I wasn't in it at the time.
Yeah.
I was actually
he had done
doing
his own, actually, separately.
Yeah, it was kind of like Napoleon Dynamite.
He got an A, yeah.
Yeah, his was
He did get an A.
Dynamite and SpongeBob, and he got an A.
Well, because it was less ambitious. I was just reading off the vocaps. I think that's what the teacher
Yeah.
wanted.
And we didn't do that, and so...
Yeah, but
You kidding? Brick doing friggin' vocab? That would have been great.
yeah, well, yeah, and then
And as
out
you
of
can
that,
see in the Southwest
Yeah.
region,
out of that massive fail, we're like, let's
read
do
this
this.
long word.
Yeah.
And we did. We
Well,
created.
and that's what I was saying. You know what's so weird?
Yeah.
Is summer of 08, right when it began, right? We had Space Dog planned. We had talked about it. You had the YouTube channel created. But it was me, Trent, and Taylor that started doing our own videos. That almost kick-started us doing Space Dog later that
Yeah.
summer, and it basically changed to that. Well, I found it so weird recently that, me, Trent, and Taylor were starting up doing videos, and you were doing your own thing here.
That's
And
right.
as soon as we did the videos, you're like, hey, how cool would it be if we started doing this together? So it was almost like deja vu. I'm like,
Yeah.
and I had wondered if that was going to happen.
It's almost
When it
as
did,
if
I'm
as
like,
fate brought us back together.
this is crazy.
Well, like when we reconnected and I started talking to you guys again,
Yeah.
it's always a countdown to, hey, you want to do videos again?
It
always is.
But it's new and
Always.
improved because I'm doing
Yeah.
that.
Yep. No.
Yeah. 2.0 or 4. I don't even know where we're at right now.
I didn't know anybody wanted to do this because,
Broke ass Thai
Yeah.
Studios AA run.
like, when I came up with,
Hey,
when we decided to name it Broke Ass Studios, I'm surprised so many people want to be a part of it. It's like, I want to be part of something called Broke Ass.
Yeah,
But
right.
How many people in this area are broke?
everybody, there's
Everybody's
no,
broke.
there's no more middle class.
Except for those fuck faces who live by the lake.
There's,
We're all
more,
broke.
there's high class and broke ass, and
They
we're
have
broke ass.
2 boats that they don't need.
Yeah.
I have a dock with 7 boats. I
Yeah.
don't even use any of them. I don't even know how to swim.
But you
But it
can
looks
still.
What the fuck's a boating license? I'm rich. I just pay the fine.
actually.
You can still find the archives of Space Dog online.
Yeah, all videos.
Just
Well,
look up
whatever
Space Dog
wasn't
TV.
whatever
Yeah.
wasn't taken off for copyright issues
That's
is
right.
there.
I
which is-
still
Copyright issues.
Yeah, for some songs.
I still
that
watch
we-
some here now and then. Just
You know how easy it is to like get permission to use one of those songs. You don't even have to talk to the band. You just talk to an assistant. Because there's a guy which shout out to Thor H13, Thor Hughes,
Oh, I know
who
who
does a
you're
lot of
talking
videos.
about,
Well,
yeah.
Psycho Stick, their beer is good.
Uh-huh.
All it took was one phone call. When he
Oh.
did this, like, it's called a BFC, Big Fucking Chug, where those really big cans of Monster.
Oh, dude.
He did that in like, I think it was like 7 seconds or something like
Oh.
that. And
It's like shoe nice.
we had beer is good in the background. All it took was one phone call to not get slapped with copyright. So it's really easy to do. But I
Yeah.
guess, in 2000, what you said, 2008?
Yeah.
Nobody wants to go that
2008,
little
2009, it's
that
a-
little step. How juvenile is that? Like, it's just
We'll make a phone call.
you get slammed with copyrights, and all they say is like, you could have just asked.
Yeah.
well, when YouTube first started, I don't think it was like that. There was
Or
a
you
lot
could
of
only
like
had
that.
15 seconds. when
Nowadays,
got
you gotta
pissed
go
for-
through so many. You have so many
Yeah.
restrictions.
It
and-
is so weird to think like when we started doing videos.
Well, yeah,
now,
back then almost.
now
It didn't
everyone's a
matter when you
partner.
put that music in.
Yeah,
It
well, think
was
about what
fine.
you can't find on YouTube anymore.
Yeah.
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 Like, you used to be able to find, like, full movies. Now,
Now, if you do, it's like buy Universal or Paramount, and you're like,
Yeah.
pay $3 to watch.
yeah,
it.
pay $3 on fucking
The
YouTube.
only
Yeah,
people
no,
that
no.
put their movies on now are Tromaville. They actually put their movies
Right.
Oh,
for
do
free.
they? For sure.
Yeah.
Oh man,
But-
I'm gonna have to watch.
But that's a
it.
studio
Now it's a
decision,
chicken
though.
bed.
Now, like everyone's a partner. There's no special. You remember when a partner was something special?
Yeah.
You got a banner,
Now it's
everything.
the new.
Now everybody can
regular.
upload over
Yeah.
15 minutes, but when we started, we could not do anything over 10.
Right.
And that really, I think that made us more creative.
Yeah, because then kind
Yeah.
of like how Vine these days.
Yep.
Oh, do a creative video in 6 seconds, and so
Right,
now
you
they
get,
do it.
I
I'm like,
think
"Jeez."
Vine, I think total, you get like 15 seconds.
Oh,
for
is it?
Vine.
Oh wow.
We tried to do
Like,
a
and that's the
podcast.
longest Vine you can have. Is
Oh,
Yeah.
man, I didn't realize that. I haven't gotten into Vine yet. Everyone's like, "Oh, you should, because you like the video stuff." I'm like, I don't
I'm just
know.
not good at coming up
Vine,
with stuff
Vine is
right on the
really
spot.
more. See, like, don't get me wrong, they're entertaining, but Vine isn't for filmmakers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Vine
Right.
is for douchebags who
Yeah.
like people to look at their face.
Pretty much. That's what it is. I mean,
That's what it's for.
Yeah.
I mean, it's for people who like to punch other people in the face, and then for douchebags who like to interject themselves into people's lives.
At least we get to watch it.
And
all.
I love it. I love it.
I think-
because I don't have to be a part of doing all.
I have a feeling that Vine's going to kill a lot of creativity here the next few years or so.
Kind of. I mean, I would say
I don't think it's gonna kill
helped,
creativity.
definitely.
Well,
because people doing all
different
the stuff
kinds
they
of
do in 6
creativity.
seconds.
I want to make
But-
the first Vine movie.
Yeah.
Credits and everything.
Yeah. You know, because they're like, well, you need a beginning, middle, and end, or else it's not.
You want a
good
beginning,
story.
middle, and end?
conflict, you need
Or
Yeah.
beginning, middle, and end? Have a fucking husband just drive up, just have him fucking pull up to the house, smack his wife, and then he's in handcuffs, and then credits.
That's true.
There we go.
That actually would work. And then everybody will look deep into it, like, was he coming home that
Did
you
she
know,
burn
furious
the-
because
Did she burn the dinner?
Yeah,
What
like that-
happened? Like,
did he just get fired from his job? Like, this man has too much rage.
and then you
This
make
can't
a
be an everyday
sequel, and then
thing.
you make a sequel,
Yeah.
Yep.
The same thing, and you're like, damn, this can keep going. And then you make too many sequels, and
and then you actually have a full movie.
you put it all together.
Yeah.
Like, well, maybe.
four
I was like, man,
four
that's
vines
nice.
is 1 minute. So just have 400 vines, and there's a
Oh,
movie.
jeez.
So, fast forward to the Broke Ass Podcast Network.
that was me.
But-
Fast forward.
Oh, cool, yeah.
Is that that's the actual sound VCR's
We
made?
need to have you on. You're like that dude from
Police Academy.
Police Academy, man. Can I get you like in the studio and just like give us a whole archive of sounds?
I
can-
try.
I hate
can't
using the
promise.
royalty-free stuff.
Broke ass podcast. We can't even make the phone call. It's royalty free.
Like Parallel, you guys did Thai Studios right now, but it didn't start just now. Trent has been doing it for a
Yeah.
while.
No, it actually started a few years back. That was to be my own
Solo project.
Yeah, and if I needed anyone, like I could, if I needed help, like I could always go to you guys at the time.
Yeah.
And but for a while, the process kind of slowed down a bit because I don't know, like I wasn't as passionate as much back then, like either school or work or whatever. And then like when I left high school, I moved to Columbia College, Chicago, to pursue filmmaking, and I was there for like a year. And money issues and all that. Now I currently haven't graduated.
Tell me about it. I live in a duplex in a small town and I'm broke.
Hey, you got a nice
You gotta-
set,
Some
though.
people
You gotta
that's
make
the
the best
American
out of
dream,
it,
though.
though.
He
Yeah.
actually is living the American dream.
See,
He's
that's
broke.
what
He
I'm
lives in
saying.
a duplex in Westville, of all fucking
Like-
places, and he's got twins on the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
So-
I got my own network.
That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
Like, make the best of it. Like that.
Yeah.
That's it right there.
You know?
Living the dream.
And I wish the best for you guys when you went to
Yeah.
college and stuff.
It's
you
just,
know,
man, when you do go to that, like, money-wise, it changes you. Atmosphere-wise, it changes you for the better, but
Yeah.
also what we studied, like the film, I think there's a whole new look I have at good and bad on filmmaking. Like,
Yeah.
When
Well,
you
see, I
go-
went to college. I went to Eastern Illinois.
yeah.
I was there for like 2.5 years,
Mhm.
and I went there for communications, which meant film and being on camera and things like that. So I understand what you mean.
yeah, like
You get a whole new perspective when you're
Yeah.
actually filming, editing,
and
cutting.
I don't know if it's better or worse because there are times where
I
I'm
hate
just like,
watching
I hate
movies
it.
now.
Yeah.
'Cause I'm like that.
Anytime
was
you watch a
terrible.
movie now, everything they tell you about, oh, well, look at this and look at that, it's hard not to now.
Yeah.
Every single time. I'm like, well, I kind of like it, but I can't just watch it to watch it.
Yeah,
It's for
you try to
entertainment.
watch the movie for enjoyment. And you're
Uh-huh.
just like, I would have shot that so differently.
Yeah.
Like I would have done this.
That's exactly how I feel.
I'm glad you guys came back, and I respect the fact that you're actually getting back into the videos because, let's face it, this world's a do-it-yourself world
Yeah.
now.
Right.
I mean, we talk about Vine and YouTube. Everything's at our disposal. Why not just do it
Yeah.
and then get noticed?
Yeah, Haven and I, we're not in Chicago right now, but the least we can do is practice our
Yeah.
Right.
talents, our uses for filmmaking. I mean, it's better than just sitting around and moping about where we're not right
Yeah.
now and what
Yeah,
we could be
you just
doing
gotta
right
do
now.
it, do it yourself. I mean, look at guys like Justin Bieber and Bo Burnham. They were at their house on YouTube.
Yeah.
I
With
mean,
their-
you have your personal opinions about them, but look at successes like that or Boogie
Is there
2988.
really
and-
successes? Like
Sometimes, though, I think it's the hair. Think about their hair. They're
True.
both similar when they were.
Yeah.
We just don't have the hair.
True, they both
Right?
do have the
They
same
had
hair.
all right, now on that note, we're gonna go right from hair to movies. Today on the fucking Martin and Shithead show, we're gonna talk about film. We've got two aspiring filmmakers. We've got two broke ass filmmakers. So
Yeah. Put them all together and see what comes out of it.
all right, let's talk about. We did this on a recent podcast. We did comic book films, past, present, future. How about we talk about just the past, present, future of film?
All-time favorite film. I'll start. Like my all-time favorite film is Richard Linklater's Dazed and Confused.
Oh man, I watched that the other night actually. and
Yeah.
I have
it's
never seen
definitely
that
a
actually.
That
favorite.
is such a good movie. I wasn't around the 70s.
You're able to
but-
just go ahead and throw that out there. That's your all-time favorite
Yes.
film. You know
Yes,
how hard
that
that
is
is to
crazy.
do.
That's my all-time favorite
that's
type of
respect.
film.
Yeah,
Like-
well, that's respect because I can't say it's a bad
'Cause I
film.
can't-
It's not
I
like,
can't
oh, man,
say
you
it.
chose a really bad film for your. No,
It's my
because
all-time
a-
favorite film
it's a-
because it's my all-time favorite type of film.
Yeah.
My
yeah.
favorite type of film are like Jackie Brown
Uh-huh.
and.
Well, what's
Days
so weird
of-
about all
They're
those?
hangout movies.
Yeah, and what's really weird, the connection between all those. They're all
So you must be a
90s
huge
films.
Kevin Smith fan. Then.
Yes, I am.
Yeah, they're all 90s films, yet somehow the camera on that
Yeah.
looks like they were filmed in
Well,
the 70s.
I like movies where you
everything.
can pop in because I get super into movies and into the character, and I like movies where you can pop in and hang out with these characters.
Yeah,
It's
true.
like you're hanging out with the gang from Dazed and Confused, and you know them all by name, you know their characters, you think you could hang out with them in real life.
Right.
Those are the movies I love.
And for us, it's kind of relatable with the whole small town thing
Yeah.
we're doing there. I'm like, yeah, I know that. Most people from big cities would be like, what? They really do all this stuff?
And people
But-
like to talk about Clerks and
You know.
stuff, but to me, it's all about mall rats.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
more like me,
Yeah.
because we hung out in malls,
Yeah.
and we...
Back in
I collect
2008,
comics.
back in 2008, when we first started, we kind of fit into that group.
Yeah, we
of-
were mall rats, you
pretty
know?
I mean, we were literally walking around the streets, and everyone was looking at us like, "What are they doing?"
True, yeah.
So you guys are from here, from Westville?
Well,
No,
Oakwood.
Oakwood.
From
Oakwood?
Yeah.
You guys are from Oakwood?
Same county.
Yeah.
You know, it's
See,
all-
I'm from. I grew up like the whole high school era. I was in Covington, Indiana,
Oh, so it was a little bit
which
bigger
is
for you
even
than-
bigger. You
Yeah.
been there?
Yeah.
I
Well,
would say
There's
well,
nothing there, man.
Yeah, but I mean, compared to you
I-
think it'd be more.
How many people were in your graduating class?
Ooh.
I wasn't in the graduating class.
Yeah, let's see.
I get what you like to call a GED.
I don't know. I'd probably say less than.
Less than 100?
Yeah.
We had, like,
tops.
We had maybe 60.
Oh really? Is it? I thought it was bigger than that.
No.
I mean, I could say
Covington.
compared to Westville, it's probably smaller, but Oakwood, you know, Westville is like booming compared to Oakwood. So
Yeah.
I figured,
Yeah. that's-
I grew up in Connecticut. My high school years were in Oakwood, so I got a little different upbringing. But
Yeah, well,
I seemed to fit in when I moved to
Yeah,
Oakwood.
that's true. I mean,
Well, the videos all brought us together. Like,
But that's your all-time favorite, huh?
I mean, I
Days
can't
and
say. I
Confused,
say
yep.
it's good.
Uh, to me,
I don't know if I could say one that quick.
to have an all-time
Yeah,
favorite
that was
movie,
right out there.
all-time favorite movie, it's a movie where no matter what mood you're in, what time of day, you
That's
can
true.
put that in and enjoy
I
it.
can watch that.
Like right
anytime.
now, I'm up for watching that movie right now.
Yeah, I watched that the other day and I was like,
Yeah.
I've seen it however many times and I can just still, it's awesome. And,
Well,
like the cast in that.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, well, I
That's
get
worth watching alone.
Matthew McConaughey
Yeah.
makes that movie, but
Matthew McConaughey. He's
yeah.
gotten so much better.
I think it's like one of the
Yeah.
only.
You can only go up from that performance.
And
I-
he keeps his shirt on.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think everybody's like, he's such a good role in that because he didn't take off his shirt, and then right after,
Man,
he's
he's developed-
confused.
that
He's
and that
real
mustache.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's really developed as an actor, hasn't he?
Well,
He's
because
taking
then
his shirt off.
he went to all the chick flicks, took his shirt off. It was like now he's a joke, and then before you know it, he's like Oscar performance after
Yeah,
Oscar
well, I think
performance.
he did that just to shut those people
Yeah,
up.
I think he
Who were like, oh, he's just a chick flick actor.
Uh-huh.
Now he's just like, yeah,
Yeah,
Dallas Buyers Club,
He
bitch.
showed me
also-
up, and
like-
if you've seen True Detective on HBO. if you
Yeah.
have
I haven't
the
seen The
chance.
Lincoln Lawyer. I
Really
think
good.
that was the
Oh.
movie where people were kind
His
of
turnaround.
changing.
Yeah,
He's also
that's when I started
really-
hearing the positive stuff, and then it was Dallas.
Well, Dallas Buyers Club
yeah,
is fantastic.
It is. It's a
And
really
his
good movie.
performance,
Uh-huh.
I mean, he looks like he's going to die.
Yeah.
no, that
But
was-
like he's so good in that
I
movie.
know.
He's
for
also
sure.
really funny too. He guest starred in Eastbound and Down.
Oh, was he in that?
Yeah,
show?
he was
Oh,
the
sweet.
coach for Texas, and he was recruiting minor league
Oh,
guys,
man.
and he was recruiting like Kenny Powers. He's really funny.
Yeah,
in
he is
that.
pretty funny too. Because I forgot he's in Tropic Thunder as well.
Oh, I forgot.
It was hilarious in Trouble.
Yeah, I know. I was like, I forgot he was in that because that's when I started thinking, oh, this guy can be funny too, and now he can be serious. I'm like, well, he's just.
You know, the thing
definition
about
of
that
an
is, so
actor.
like he made like he makes the stupidest shit sound so cool. Like
Yeah, he does.
in Tropic Thunder, he's like Tugger nuts. I'm like, I can't say that without it sounding ridiculous. He made it sound like something somebody awesome would say.
Yeah.
Who awesome would ever say Tugger nuts?
Only Matthew McConaughey.
Matthew McConaughey. That's it.
If you could aim close to your favorite movie,
Well, if someone's willing to speak before me, if they have a clear idea, go ahead.
well,
because
what
this
kind
might
of
be
genres do you like? I mean,
I mean,
I know that we
everything,
all
really.
love it,
It's-
but what do you really dig on?
Sci-fi
Yeah.
a lot, really. It's hard not to like those. Or just the, I guess, when it really comes down to it, I do like the era films, I guess, when it isn't modern day, like 70s and 80s especially, because it's really cool to see them. If done right, people these days film movies and get like the set direction and the wardrobe, and that just makes it all
Like
that much
taking
cooler.
Woodstock.
Yeah.
I mean,
That one,
Ang
though-
Lee. What?
What are you gonna say on
Well,
it?
I was just saying, Ang Lee really nailed every detail. of it.
Oh yeah, the look wise, but I feel like it felt like it was modern though. You know what I mean? The look was there,
Yeah.
but it felt modernized.
Felt modern.
Like with Dazed and Confused, I feel like that doesn't only look the part, but it seems like I feel like
And then
this was filmed in the 70s.
Ang
you
Lee
know?
came out with the sequel, The Hulk.
Yeah.
And then- and then the third-
Don't even talk about
Yeah.
that movie.
And then the third movie with that dude on a boat.
Life of Pi.
Yeah.
I was like, wait, Life.
Like,
You know, I
Bruce
watched
Banner's
that.
not in this.
I watched Life of Pi, and I didn't know what to expect going in.
Me either, and I haven't seen it. So.
I didn't expect that heartfelt of a story.
So when I saw it, I'm like, man, this is
Well, the
CGI
whole
fest for sure.
well, the whole movie, yeah, it's oh man, the whole movie is based around a guy whose the boat sank, and he was on. It was he was him and his family owned a zoo, and they were moving the
That
zoo.
explains.
Well, when the big boat went down, he was in a lifeboat. I guess the tiger had climbed aboard
Yeah, see,
this
that's-
lifeboat.
That's when I didn't know how the tiger came into play.
But the whole movie is based around he's actually in an interview and he's telling his story to an interviewer. And like I didn't expect like I guess the end of the movie, which I mean I don't want to spoil it for you, so go ahead and give me a yes or no on this.
Okay, go ahead.
It's just like the
I don't
end of the
have-
movie is
I mean, the book's been out too, and people are like, "Well, you should have read it."
But let's
now,
let the
so go
audience
ahead.
know that there's going
That's
to be some
true.
Yeah,
spoilers.
spoiler
You're
alert.
in the audience that
If you haven't seen Life of Pi and you really want to, just shut this right off.
Ryan, can
now.
you give us a sound effect for a spoiler alert? All right.
But the end of the movie is just him like he's crying because the whole point is that they make it to shore, like after so many days, and the tiger runs off and he's crying because he's like he said he felt like he'd bonded with this tiger, and the tiger runs off. Didn't do the whole like run into the woods and look back. It just ran off. I didn't expect that at the end of that movie.
more of like
When you put it that way, it seems like they could have easily taken that
What do you
route.
expected them
They
to get a
could've.
condo or something?
I
Like
don't know.
to retire in Florida?
No, but I didn't expect.
Something more fulfilling.
I
guess?
expect, in all honesty, I expected either the tiger to eat him or for him to have to eat the tiger.
Yeah.
Kind of
Oh, that
like.
would-
So they would make it sad, like sorry.
It's like you've seen Castaway, right? Like
Yeah. I was
with
about to
Tom
mention
Hanks when
Castaway.
that was I had that in mind
when the volleyball or whatever it was popped and he's freaking out.
Yeah.
I expected it to be something like that. I figured like he would get so hungry that he'd have to kill the tiger and eat it because he didn't have anything
That's
else.
true. Try to make it sad on everyone.
That's a really sad movie, Castaway.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's not even his time spent on the island. I think the most sad part about that is when the only thing that keeps him alive on that island is the fact that he's going to go home to his wife one
Right,
day.
and then they
Right,
all
and then
fucking
he-
care.
Yeah, and then he
They're
goes
like, oh.
home and she's moved on.
Yeah, I was like, damn.
The only thing keeping him
Completely.
alive.
Like completely,
Yeah,
she's
and
moved
she does
on.
not want him
It's like-
back.
She was even pissed that he showed up.
So he's got no
should've
reason to live, so he has to
Yeah.
live his whole life alone.
That sucks.
I mean,
That's sad.
out of everything in that movie, that's what like got me the most. She's pissed that he's
Yeah.
alive. She's pissed. How dare you be alive? How dare you go through all this trying things, trying to get back
Yeah,
to your
alone, but I
family?
haven't already. For
You
all these
son of a
years, so-
bitch. How
At least
dare
he's
you
used
be
to it.
alive?
Fuck Helen
Sometimes
Hunt.
that's what I like
know.
about films like that.
Why is she always such a cunt?
I don't know. That's why Team America did the puppet of her like perfect.
Did you've seen
So-
Twister, right?
Yeah.
Why is she such a bitch in that movie?
I don't know. I think really,
We got a divorce because you're an asshole.
She probably like.
What did he do?
Her
Like,
name probably was Helen Cunt, and she like,
Helen Cunt.
legally changed it to Hunt.
She
so
got to the
wouldn't get-
movies and they were like, "This isn't porn. We need to
Yeah.
change
Her name
this
is-
now." Like,
Her name is Hella Cunt.
Yeah. Helen Cunt. That's true.
they're like, "What sounds like that?" Helen Hunt. That's fine.
Yeah.
We'll go with that.
But yeah, that's what's nice about some films. Like they don't easily take the happy end route, and tie it up with a
Yeah.
bow on top.
Well, that's
you know?
that's what I love about the future of films.
Yeah.
Like
Shock film,
filmmakers,
for sure.
filmmakers are getting smarter.
Yeah.
Like, and they're throwing us curves.
But it's
Like for years, between like 2000 probably 4 to
yeah. I was gonna
2000
say
like,
that's probably
to 2009, nothing in filmmaking made me go, holy shit.
Yeah,
Like, it was
it's
just like, and then
starting
this
to
is going to
lately.
happen, and then this is going to happen.
But
I
they're
mean, there are
almost
some
like-
films where they have happy endings and it works.
Yeah.
But
Oh, yeah.
See, the thing is though.
Well, recently I went and seen the movie Maleficent
I haven't seen that.
for a Disney film, which I believe Disney did.
Uh-huh.
Fantastic. Which
Yeah.
Disney has been getting better in their filmmaking anyway.
Yeah.
I've been trying to
On
see
all
it.
rounds, like now that they own Marvel and then Star Wars, it's like
What
you
they
always
did-
think, oh, Disney, they're gonna
Oh
make it all.
my
Disney,
God.
Well,
but
when
it's
when
been-
Marvel when they bought Marvel, I was just like, oh no.
Yeah.
But
Because if you look at shit that's like
Yeah.
on the look at the Marvel cartoons that are like on the Disney Channel and look how shitty they
Oh,
are
yeah.
compared to like the shit we grew up with.
I understand doing it for Marvel, but by the time Star Wars got the deal, look what they did
was
with
weird.
the Avengers, man. I mean,
Well, yeah,
I
Star
had no
Wars. I
doubt in
had
my
no,
mind.
I had nothing with
Yeah.
Star Wars. But when they bought Marvel, I was like,
Well, it was the first time they did something like
when
that.
they bought Marvel and then they announced Iron Man, I was like,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
Do you think
It's
Disney's
have-
gonna? Do you think they're gonna be buying a lot of franchises here in the
They
near
own
future?
almost anything already,
Yes.
so why not? You
They're
know,
gonna be
just
they're
right.
gonna be like the Walmart of the
Seriously.
industry.
Right.
I
They're
really
big
hope not.
monopoly.
That's
Yeah, I
the
hope not
last
either.
thing. That's the last thing film needs is
Yeah,
a
but
monopoly.
You always need
They're gonna-
competition.
They're gonna get their grubby hands on it.
Yep.
Their Mickey Mouse gloves on.
That's not what film needs. We don't need a monopoly. I mean, we've seen it. Like, you do the wrestling podcast. Wrestling is the biggest example of what happens to quality when you don't have competition.
Oh yeah, one company bought out every promotion under the sun. Now you only get it from one thing, and you only get one perspective.
The quality has suffered
If-
severely.
Yeah, if Disney buys out Star Wars and Marvel and all these things, then you get to see those movies in the Disney way.
Well, fortunate enough, the Marvel movies they've been coming out with are pretty.
Yeah, they haven't been too.
Next
Well,
thing they're
yeah,
gonna tackle is
but
Fox.
the thing about that is though they have to be because Fox owns Marvel property, and then
Yes.
Warner Brothers owns DC property. So you have to be good if you're going to make superhero movies because there's three big
Yeah.
juggernauts in film making those movies.
Right.
So Disney has to be good. But to put it into real perspective, though, Disney doesn't have a whole lot to do with the actual filmmaking process. That's still Marvel
it's
Studios.
Just basically slap their
Right.
and not even slap it on.
But
the beginning,
Disney
it's
does
like-
get the final say
Yeah.
in what goes out and
Do
what
they
doesn't.
do the financing? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, they're the financial backing because Marvel Studios just wasn't big enough.
which is a great
Yeah, now it's grown.
great thing to have backing.
Yeah.
And unfortunately,
You almost-
unfortunately, that means that people at Disney can look at, can be there during the editing process. We
Yeah.
don't like that. Get that out of here.
Yep.
Which is, I mean, I'm glad Fox owns what they own because Disney puts like I think they have like a PG-13, like that's the highest rating. Like that's what we're gonna get with those Marvel movies.
Well,
Not that they haven't been good,
The Wolverine, they were pushing for a rated R.
but that's Fox
Yeah,
though.
that
Yeah.
was
It's Fox.
so
It's
that's
like
why.
it's not. I don't think it's just Disney. I think Fox decided to bring that back down to PG-13 too.
for money
The-
issues. Really,
and
it's like well,
demographic.
the box
Well,
office-
demographic too. Yeah.
Yeah.
They want kids to be able to go to the theater by themselves.
Well, but see, that's why we haven't gotten a Deadpool movie yet, because Ryan Reynolds, who everybody wants to do that
Yeah.
part, he refuses unless it's R, because you can't have a good Deadpool movie without it being rated
Well,
R.
at least he's smart enough to do that.
Yeah, no, you
And to
figure
know that.
him, he would be like, well, yeah, I'll do it. because
You know,
want
I
his
think that's. I
paycheck.
honestly like. Part of me wants to believe that that's why he did Green Lantern, was to show people how shitty he's gonna be
Yeah,
in a
that'd be-
PG-13
that'd be-
superhero
I
movie.
have not seen Green Lantern.
I've seen
and
parts, and I
really-
just can't.
Well, as a movie as a whole, it's shit.
I was working at Walmart at the time. I was supposed to be the cart guy. And I saw Green Lantern for the first time in parts at Walmart because I would spend so much time in electronics. And they would yell at me, like, get back out in the parking lot.
Oh my god.
So that's how I saw it.
Oh, okay.
Out of order.
So
and in
yeah, that
pieces.
probably didn't help either.
Because they played it for 2 months
Yeah.
straight.
I was working at Walmart in electronics. We played Wreck-It Ralph so long. Like I was just like, oh my god!
Yeah.
Like if I have to hear that fucking song one more time.
So, favorite movies?
Yeah. We've been waiting on
Yeah.
you.
Man, I don't know.
Can you give us a favorite genre?
Every genre ever. See, it's so broad. I can't.
What's your go-to movie?
Everybody's got a go-to. Everybody's got a
So-
movie they can put in, because that's what he was talking
That's what I
about.
was saying. Dazed and Confused.
Dazed and
I could do
Confused is
that
his
for
movie that he can put in at any time.
that.
Everybody's got that movie.
See, I could go for another '90s film that portrayed the '70s that had an all-star cast. Boogie Nights.
Yeah.
Paul Thomas Anderson. That one I could watch
90s.
anytime.
Like, I don't know what generation we're in that we want to be, but 90s, everyone wanted to be in the 70s.
Yeah.
And we just got out of one where everyone wanted to be in the 90s.
Yep. Well, it's still kind of happening too. Everyone's
See,
like,
if
"Oh, I'm
we're
in the
like,
90s."
it's not my all-time favorite film, but it's iconic in not only my past, but this movie has woven its way into so many like friendships as far as like how many times I quote it, and as far as a movie that I can watch whenever, Wayne's World.
Yeah, that's
That's
I
a
can
good
watch Wayne's World anytime.
The original or the second?
No, the original.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can watch Wayne's World whenever.
The second movie is a totally different fan base.
Yeah.
it kind of
They
is.
they have two different audiences.
No, Wayne's World, the original, I can watch that any time of day.
Trent, what's your go-to movie?
See, I've been exposed to so many different kinds of film, and I do like film noirs.
Yeah.
I think those are very good, like Alfred Hitchcock. And the thing is about Alfred Hitchcock, like he's known for like Psycho and North by Northwest. Those are fantastic films.
Yeah, they're great.
But there's this one film he did, like back in the 40s. It's called Rebecca
Mhm.
with Laurence Olivier. It's probably his most underrated film that I've seen
He's
because
done a lot of movies.
when
too.
people say Alfred Hitchcock, they don't say Rebecca,
Yeah.
they say Psycho
The
or
Birds,
North by
yeah.
Northwest.
Yeah.
As long as I know you, you've been the action guy. Like you love the Rambos,
Oh,
and
yeah.
the Rockies, and stuff like that.
Yeah, those kind of films that I was really. I mean, I still like comic book movies, but comic book movies were one of my interests back then too.
Mhm.
And now I've seen films like Citizen Kane and
As a filmmaker, if you haven't seen Citizen Kane, I don't think I can respect you.
yeah. But no,
That's
Citizen
kinda like
Kane. See, I really don't want to say Citizen Kane's my favorite movie because for one thing,
like,
there's
everyone would say that.
a lot of films I haven't seen that I've heard of, but I still need to watch. But Citizen Kane, I can watch that whenever and never get bored. Like it's
Wow.
just perfect. It's so perfect to watch.
All-time favorite
Well, it's
directors.
supposed to be that film is supposed to be the pinnacle of
That's what I'm saying. Like when people.
it's a perfect blend of camera, acting. I mean, everything that needed to be portrayed in that movie was portrayed.
Right.
Every shot that would have been the perfect shot is in that film.
And it's
why-
not just film noirs. I love epics too. I think
Epics.
one of my favorite epics would be Lawrence of Arabia.
Oh yeah.
That film was back then the epic. I mean, sure you had Gone with the Wind in the golden age of Hollywood, but then when Lawrence of Arabia came out, that was literally the epic. Like
Yeah.
just the way it was shot, like it was just huge.
the aspect ratio on that.
And the
Yeah.
and the irony of it, the most of the movie is in the fucking desert, and it is still engaging to watch. Just the way it's shot.
Right.
It's like taking it out to the desert is hard for one thing, but if you film it just the right way, then you got yourself a seller.
I think that's the.
Well, I mean, let's be honest too. They had a little bit of luck. I mean, the way the wind blows is
Yeah.
is a huge factor.
That differentiates.
Because that's the difference between a blowing sand dune and a dust tornado. So
The term movie, like Knocked Up, Pineapple Express, those are movies. But
Yeah.
film seems to be like more used towards like epics,
Right.
you know, and stuff like that. The Ten Commandments type of thing. That's a film.
right.
You know, The Godfather. You know,
Right.
there's a difference between The Godfather being a film and then you know, Fanboys being a movie.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because and you'll know it as soon as you walk out of the theater. You'll
Yeah.
hear people say that was such a good movie, or what a film.
Django
Like,
Unchained was a film.
Yeah.
That movie was awesome.
But it's almost labeled as like just being a movie because
It was
of all that
very
the
popcorn.
action.
Yeah.
Yeah. stuff
The
like
funny
that.
thing
So
about
what
Django,
is-
the funny thing about Django Unchained though, it took me a second viewing to get attached to it. Like the first time I saw it, I
Really?
liked it.
Not me.
Yeah, that was instant. I was
I'm
like, holy
such
shit.
a big Tarantino nut.
You know why I kind of felt weird about that?
Huh.
I was kind of hoping they'd go for more of the Sergio Leone
The spaghetti
style.
westerns.
And they did,
They did.
but they added other elements to it.
I mean, they even used the Django song.
Oh,
from
yeah.
the
Yeah,
Django
yeah.
movies.
and then that's another one of my favorite genres too, the spaghetti westerns.
Yes, I
I
love
I
Western.
fucking love spaghetti
And
westerns.
there's a big difference between spaghetti westerns and American westerns too.
Right.
Even down to the vibe and
There are some American westerns I like, but when
Yeah.
I think of western, I think of spaghetti western.
Yeah.
Those are just not only are they fun to watch, but they do have some sort of a weight to it. Like I don't know if you've seen this, but Once Upon a Time in the West.
yes, I've seen that.
Like that, just the way that film was shot and the characters in that movie, and just I don't know. There's just so many stories woven into one, and you watch that, and that's something you remember
Yeah.
after even just one viewing.
Speaking of genre, you said we're talking about spaghetti western. What is your favorite type of genre? Because mine is easily comedy.
Mine's exploitation, grindhouse, and that dives into blaxploitation too.
See, mine is
Love
easily comedy. I
Yeah,
mean, comedy.
because
Comedy's
comedy,
big too.
it's, you know, there's so many that are good within that genre. It's
Com-
hard to not
Comedy, like
no,
I like Judd,
fail with it.
I like Judd Apatow comedy
Yeah.
where it's film, but it's loosely based off stand-up comedy.
Well, I don't care. I don't care what kind it is. I don't care if it's dark comedy. I don't care if
That's
it's
the thing, you have
lighthearted.
so many.
Whatever it is, like just the whole that umbrella genre of comedy. I love it. I can't
Yeah.
get enough of those movies.
I'd almost want to say that too, only because I can't really be disappointed with that. You know, I could say, you know, I like the sci-fi and everything, but there's so many films within there that are like, that could have been a lot better with comedy.
if it makes you
That's
laugh,
a lot harder, you
It
know.
makes you laugh.
Well,
it's
it's
worth
really
watching.
hard to make a bad comedy
Yeah.
movie. It's really hard to
You
do
should be
that.
able to get one or two
I
laughs
don't know.
in
It
there.
seemed easy for the guys who did the parody movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If,
You know?
if it makes you laugh, you can watch it again.
Well, that's why I have such an appreciation for good like drama movies and good action flicks. Like the action flicks that can keep me watching them because they've made me invested in the characters and not just the explosions.
Yeah.
Right.
Like their action comedy. I love the Lethal Weapon series.
Oh,
I
yeah.
haven't watched. I've
Because
seen part of.
I
first
care
one,
about
I
Riggs and Murtaugh.
Yeah.
Like I don't. Not very often in those movies you give two shits about the characters. Fuck Bruce Willis and Cop Out. Like I don't care what happens. He could break his leg and get shot in the face, and I wouldn't care.
That movie does not count as a Kevin Smith movie.
Kevin Smith said
It
he
has
was hard
to.
to work with, didn't he?
It has
He
to.
didn't write it; he just directed
He was
it.
kind of like, you do that.
For a Kevin Smith movie to be that, he's got to write and direct it to me.
Even he said you have to make a Cop Out. Like
Yeah.
I was watching because I love his like.
He named it after what it was.
I love his like Burn in Hell and his like Too
Yes.
Fat for 40s.
Oh, his
Like his Q and
spoken
A's.
words, yeah.
His Q and A's.
So good.
He was talking about that, and he was just like, you have to make a Cop Out. Like there's some point in your career
Yep.
where you're making your movies, where you're making your Clerks and stuff, that you have to do a studio movie to really appreciate what you were doing with your movies. He said, I had to make Cop Out in order for Red State to happen, and that's something that I think all filmmakers need to take to heart. Sometimes you got to do the shit that you don't want to do.
Yeah.
Like that's why starving artists are a thing, because they've only got one thing, and they only want to do one thing, and that can ruin a career.
Yep.
There's just so many. There's just different genres that I like. And if the movie is something that I can relate to and enjoy, then it really doesn't matter what.
Well, you know
genre
how I
it is.
found out like what my favorite genre was? One day I opened up my because I've got a DVD case and I've got a box of DVDs. I opened up my box of DVDs and I took a look at my DVD case, and I got 80% of my movies are comedy. So I'm like, so this has to be my favorite
probably
genre. How
does.
could it not be? If I've got this many. Because I don't buy very many movies. Because the ones that I enjoy watching, like that, like I'll catch them on TV, you know, because the movies are always gonna be played on TV. The movies that I truly enjoy are the ones I buy.
Yeah.
Like there's no movie I own that I'm like, yeah, I just picked that up for the fuck of it. Like
Yeah.
it could be free, and
It's
I'd be
gotta-
like, I don't like that movie.
I do like a drama that has some comedy in it.
Mhm.
That's one thing.
So you like
Perfect
chick flicks?
Balance.
Chick flicks. Ryan, you got a sound effect for chick flick? For
Yeah, it's the sound of like the bar being, it was raised and now it's just been lowered when he said that.
So he's got that. He's got that.
yeah,
He has
so
me
it's
going.
deflated balloon.